It's time for the Crystal Clear Convos TV program and podcast with your host, Crystal Smith, the television series and podcast dedicated to uplifting and building individuals and communities. Join us for education, entertainment, and enlightenment. This is your opportunity to walk with us on the journey to creating a happy and purpose-filled life through thought-provoking topics and inspirational guests. So without further ado, it's time for the Crystal Clear Convos TV program and podcast with your host, Crystal Smith.
Hey fam, welcome to another episode of Crystal Clear Convos. I'm your host, Crystal Smith, and I'm so excited for you to be with me today. Here on Crystal Clear Convos, we have transparent conversations that inspire change. I hope that you will glean something that is inspiring, enlightening, positive, motivating, all things crystal clear. Here, we're going to keep it real. We're going to have some intelligent conversations. Sometimes I'll have a guest and sometimes I won't. This week is a week that it's just me. And today's topic is stilettos of steel. Ladies, I want to talk about embracing and celebrating our feminine strength. So feminine strength, there's a lot of different ways that people can look at feminine strength. In a society where women have had to take on so many responsibilities, a lot of people like to say, well, I have to play the role of the mom and the dad. I don't necessarily agree that you can play the role of a dad because we cannot teach a boy how to be a man. There is a lot of things that we can teach a boy to be, a young man to be, but you could never teach him how to be a man. Why? Because you are a woman. Okay. We want to talk about celebrating our femininity and the power that lies in our femininity. And I'm not talking about from a place of trying to be manipulative or controlling, but I'm just talking about how your feminine energy and mannerisms can definitely get you seen, heard, and respected in a lot more places. Last month we celebrated Women's History Month. And there's so many contributions that women have made to society. We've come such a long way. Women didn't really break into the workforce until I think it was like the Second World War, where the men had gone off to war. They then realized that they had a shortage of supplies and materials. And so the women were then responsible or had to go to work to help make and manufacture materials for the war. So they end up doing a lot of different factory work and being able to assist and hold down the home front while the man or the husband was away. So upon this introduction into the workforce, of course, we didn't get equal pay. We didn't have equal rights. We probably didn't even have the right to vote at that time. I'm not a historian and I don't have the timelines written down right now. So I'm going off of my memory. So back then, women didn't have a lot of rights. We couldn't vote. We were just breaking into the workforce. And there were a lot of things that mindsets and philosophies that women should be seen and not heard. Women should be in the background. Woman, you should be at home cooking my food and cleaning that house and raising those children, right? So we've definitely come a long way. Now we are celebrating entrepreneurs and trailblazers. We are breaking glass ceilings. There's so much to celebrate. We are entrepreneurs, we are homemakers, we are CEOs, and so much more. So I celebrate women, I celebrate our femininity, and I celebrate all the accomplishments that we have done. Because I didn't get a chance or opportunity to celebrate us during our month, it's never too late to celebrate a woman. A lot of times people talk about gender equality and women's equality. And I totally believe in women having, equal pay for equal skills. I do believe in having equal opportunity. I do believe in having a fair chance to be able to be equivalent in the workforce. I do believe in having a representation in different settings. I do believe that in a lot of cases, there should be a voice and representation for women. I do not believe that I will ever or women will ever biologically be equal to a man. We will never be able to match their physical strength. We will never be able to think and process like a man because we're women and we were created and designed very differently. And that was all part of the master plan. If God wanted all men, then he would have created men, men, and men. But he created man and woman. And I do believe that that adds balance to the dynamic of relationship. It adds balance in the workforce. It adds balance in the church. So women are needed just as much as men are. And I feel like nowadays, men are always talking about we operate with too much masculine energy and we're doing too much and you want to, try to be the boss and be controlling and be this and be that. In a lot of cases, society has forced a lot of women to have to operate in more masculine energy. And it's not that we want to be more masculine, it's that we have to step up and execute some of the responsibilities that would normally be held by the man in the household or by the man in the workplace. But that doesn't mean that we automatically want to be in these roles where we're executing and leading with more masculine energy. Now, what I love to say is I'm sugar, spice, and everything nice. Just like the nursery rhyme used to say, what are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice. Yes, I love being a woman. I love being feminine. And I really, really, really want to drive home the power that lies in our femininity. I was listening to a podcast or something the other day, and a young lady gave an example where uh, husband and wife scenario. The husband goes out and buys his dream car. Of course, it's probably a muscle car, probably some type of, Mustang or something with, fast cars. So he goes out, he buys this dream car. He didn't consult with her, but he brings the car home. He runs in excitement to share with her the new purchase, brings her outside and shows it to her, and's like, jump in. Hey, let's go for a spin. I want to show it to you. I want you to see how it rides. He's elated. I mean, just excited. He has his car. Men love cars. We know that. So she jumps in, they ride around, go for a spin, they come back to the house. She goes off. She's like, why did you go off and make this purchase? You didn't consult with me and you didn't do this. You know you don't need to do that. Bop, bop, bop. Then it turns into this whole disagreement. A moment that he wanted to celebrate and be happy and enjoy his car has now turned into this big family feud, right? And so, what the young lady was trying to drive home in that example is that our tone, our tone, the way that we respond to things as a woman, the way that we handle things as a woman has a lot of power in it. You have the power, ladies, to be able to shift an atmosphere. You have the power to be able to shift the dynamic of the conversation. You can shift from an argument to keep it from escalating to an argument. You have so much power that lies behind your femininity and your voice. The power that allows for you to be seen, heard, and respected. That is true power. And all of that lies in your femininity. Now, what the young lady could have done is said, sweetheart, this is a beautiful car. And I'm so glad that you were able to get the car of your dreams. I know that you love it and that you will enjoy it and you'll have a good time with it on the weekends doing what you want to do. But as your wife and your partner, I could have appreciated it if you would have brought it to me, the fact that, you wanted to make this purchase, just get my input, my opinion, to see how I feel about it. And I know at the end of the day, you're going to make the final decision. But you consulting me makes me feel validated. It makes me feel seen and heard. It makes me feel like a partner in this relationship. And at the end of the day, whether you choose to purchase it or not, the final decision rests with you. But I would have appreciated if you would have at least told me about it or talked to me about it. Handling the situation or the conversation in that way could completely shift his response and how he responds to you as a result of him going out and buying that car. And it's more likely that he would sit back and really think about what you said or let your words kind of resonate. Even if he doesn't really respond in that moment, later on he might be like, well, dang, I probably should have at least mentioned it to her. No, you don't have to consult your spouse to be able to spend money that you've earned. But at the end of the day, you guys are partners. You live in the same house. We're now one, right? And so what is the harm in being able to talk to me about it? Talk to me about a large purchase. You didn't just go out and spend $100 to buy something random. You went out and bought a whole new car, which is a whole new monthly payment, unless you paid cash for it. So just being able to respond with our own feminine energy that is from a place that can be seen and heard. And when I was sitting trying to figure out how I wanted to put this whole talk together and how I wanted to address it, I wanted to talk about the power of femininity. I'm not a feminist by any means. As I said before, I do believe in equality of women when it comes to the workplace, being seen, heard, political decisions, voting, all of that. However, I believe that man and woman are very different. We think differently. We respond differently. Our ability, our physical beings are different, and I believe that we are designed to balance one another and not be exactly like or in competition with one another. That provides for us to be able to have our roles in the home, to have our roles in the home and in a relationship, to be able to have a partnership and balance each other out, right? So when I was thinking about the word power, I was like, people are going to kind of misconstrue this and think that I'm saying that having feminine strength and the power that lies in femininity is like control. Now, you do have some women out there with that Jezebel spirit that want to control everything that you do, every move that you make, every dollar that you spend. There are women out there that want to control you. So we're not talking about them right now, okay? There are women out there that want to control you. I'm not talking about control when I talk about strength. I'm simply talking about the power that lies in us to be able to shift, change, get things done. There used to be a saying that you can always attract more bees with honey than you can with vinegar. So if you're putting something bitter out, you're putting something sour out, you can't expect for people to be drawn to you. You can't expect for that husband to give you a good response just because what you're giving off and what you're putting out is not attractive and nobody wants it. But I feel like the power of our femininity is a state of consistency in a soft and emotional, intelligent place that allows you to be seen, heard, and respected. That was the definition that came to mind. I'll say it again for you. It is a state of consistency in a soft and emotionally intelligent space that allows you to be seen, heard, and respected. That is what feminine strength is to me, and being able to operate in the power of that feminine strength. Whatever energy that you give off, and I won't necessarily say I'm a believer in all things energy, but I am. I mean, we have certain energy or vibes or things that we give off when we are around people that people can pick up on. and being able to and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we should allow men to run over us or anything like that. All I'm saying is you have power in your ability to remain feminine in your response to things. Now, my mother always taught me ladies are not loud. Ladies aren't going to go around cursing and talking loud and, ready to fight. And my mom instilled a lot of feminine characteristics in me. And I appreciate the fact that I love being a lady. I love being a woman and I love all things girly. But some of us are just, you love being a woman, but we just have too much masculine energy going on. And I'm not talking about, having to take on the responsibilities of what a man would normally do. I'm just talking about when you're in public, you're loud, your response to people, you're at the restaurant and the waitress accidentally got your order wrong and you're going off on her and you're loud about it and ignorant acting about it. You can't use anything other than curse words. I mean, I have some people that I've been around whose mouths are just filthy, Um, when you're trying to deal in a space of femininity, especially now in a male dominated, I'm in a male dominated workforce. There are a lot of fields that we work in and environments that we're in that are male dominated. And so, how can we use our femininity, our feminine strength, to be able to make power moves, to make moves? Because being feminine and operating in that does not mean that you're a damsel in distress. It does not mean that you're weak. It does not mean that you can't accomplish the boss things that you want to accomplish. It simply means that you have an intelligent, tactful, and graceful way to be able to handle situations as they come along. So I'm not talking about using your feminine energy to try to manipulate anyone. I'm not talking about using it in any type of shady way. So stay out the comments with anything if you think that I'm trying to be shady, because that's not where we're coming from. We're coming from a place where women need to understand and recognize that how they handle and how they respond to things makes a huge, huge impact on how people react to what they're saying or what they're responding to. So if you get in an argument at the house, ladies, and that man is ready to go in, I mean, he made you hot. You mad. Now we can get mad. We can get mad. But the emotional intelligence behind how we choose to respond is something completely different, right? So that is what I wanted to highlight for you all today. And then on the other side, I wanted to bring attention to the fact that although women celebrate women, and although I'm here to salute and celebrate women, we have to do a better job of making sure that the women in our lives are taken care of. Our mothers, your wives, your girlfriends. I was on social media last night and there was a woman up there that was crying. She was trying to get through her message without crying and just stating the facts, but she was very emotional and very hurt by the situation. And there are a lot of a lot of women that go through that very same thing. As a mother, the caretaker, the nurturer, you want to make the home happy. You want to take care of the husband. You want to take care of the kids. And so for holidays, you're doing special things. And for birthdays, you're doing special birthday parties and surprise parties. And for Father's Day, you're going out to find the perfect gift and wrap it in the perfect paper. And you're listening to him throughout the year to see what would make the perfect gift for him, right? So we're taking the cues from the family on what they want and what they need. And sometimes we're just full of surprises. Sometimes we choose to be romantic. But then your time to be celebrated comes along, and it doesn't seem like as much effort or thought is put into that. And it feels like, I always tell my family, you guys have 364 days to prepare for my birthday. Like, there's no reason why you can't get my cupcake to me on this 365th day because you've had a whole year to plan. And it feels like sometimes for mothers or whomever that person is that always brings things together, that they're not equally celebrated. You may say, oh, here's my card. Go to the store and get you something for $100. Or you may say happy birthday, and you may take her out to dinner, but you're asking her, hey, what restaurant do you want to go to? There's no particular thought put behind it to even show your appreciation, to show that you were thoughtful in the matter. And some men love to use the excuse of, well, I'm just not a planner. Well, I'm just not good at that. Y'all, stop, okay? Stop saying it. We don't want to hear it. Women do a lot to try to accommodate our men. We try to accommodate the family. The least you could do is know or figure out what her favorite restaurant is. Is she a flowers person? Does she like and appreciate flowers? Is she a jewelry person? Is she someone that would want a gift card? Try to figure out something that is personable to celebrate that woman in your life. So the young lady went on to continue to say that her 55th birthday was coming up, and she's done everything for the family over the years. And she may get a happy birthday before the end of the day or something that's thrown together at the last minute. And she just truly felt unappreciated. So she was stuck in a space where she was going to have to go and do self-care and take care of herself and things of that nature. And all that is fine. And I encourage all of that. If nobody else is going to do it, you got to do it for yourself. But to those of you that have women in your life that they're always making things happen for you, and it doesn't really matter if, oh, they get on my nerves, I'm upset because they did this. That's just the nature of marriage. Okay, marriage is work, consistent work. But take the time. Don't make the excuse to say I'm just not good at this. I can't plan anything. Maybe you want to take her on a weekend getaway. You may just go somewhere an hour down the road to just have a change of scenery. If you need some ideas, ask some people at work, ask some women in your life. Try to figure it out. Try to get a clue because there's so many women out there that feel unappreciated, that feel like everything that they do is for their family. They would do anything for their family, and they make sure that you are celebrated, that you are nurtured, and that you are loved. And then in return, things are thrown together for them. And that's hurtful. It's very hurtful to think, especially your partner in life or your children that are old enough to be able to do something, don't want to or haven't taken the time to put something together to celebrate you, right? So I want to say to all the women that are in this scenario where you have a husband, a spouse, a partner that is not as thoughtful or considerate as you want them to be, we have to plan our own things if we know that something is not going to happen for us. Otherwise, we may be kind of down, kind of depressed, a little saddened on our special day. In the past, I've waited and relied on people to do something for me. And let me tell you, that's the biggest way to get disappointed. So plan something for yourself, whether it's a day where you're going to treat yourself to the spa, whether you're going to go and get your favorite food, are you going to go out of town, hang out with some girlfriends? Do you want to go out of the country on a trip? Figure out what it is that you want to do, what it is that makes you happy. If you know that that person in your life is not necessarily going to plan anything for you. And then to the special someones in our life, please take the time to consider the person that you love, all that they do for you, all that they make happen for you. And don't just throw something together at the last minute for them. Take the time to actually go and plan something special for them. So back to celebrating our feminine strength. I just want to close out with Proverbs 31, the Bible always tells us, the Bible is a great guide in all areas of our life. But Proverbs 31 specifically talks about the virtuous woman, right? And I believe this is like the amplified version. It's not King James version. Yeah, amplified version. It says an excellent woman, one who is spiritual, intelligent, capable, and virtuous. Of course, now I'm ad-libbing right now. It talks about her being more valuable, more precious than jewels, how she expands her business and she's prudent, she's prepared. But it talks about she opens her mouth in skillful, godly wisdom. And that basically talks about thinking before you speak, thinking before you respond. Because a lot of times we'll say things that we can't take back. And after you said something that's damaging, you can't undo that. In most cases, you can't undo it. Once it's said, it's out there, it's done. So being thoughtful in your words. She fears and obeys and serves the Lord. And overall, she is kind, wise, motivated, prepared, and she cares for those around her. So, ladies, I want you all, as I celebrate you all, I want you all to be conscious of the power that you have in your femininity. I want you to think before you speak and take care and consideration to how you respond and how you move and react to things that may happen in the workplace, the things that may happen in the home. And just be wise with your words and wise with your response. And know that you have power in your femininity. And it doesn't make you a damsel in distress. It does not make you a weak woman. You still can accomplish your dreams and your goals. It does not say that you have to let someone run over top of you, not have a voice, not have an opinion. That's not what it's saying. It's simply saying that you have the power in your femininity to shift things. I know a lot of women that cuss their men out, call their men names, degrade their men. I mean, it's just I didn't grow up talking to men like that. Like, I don't believe in that. I'm not calling you names, whether they're curse words or not. I'm not doing that. I don't even like to argue. A few relationships ago, when I got in a bad argument, that was my last argument. I don't argue. Now, I will hit you with a shutdown. I will shut down when I hit you with that. All right. Okay. And that's what it is. If I do something like that, I'm done with that conversation in that moment. And I may be hot and we might be able to revisit it at a later time, but I'm done. So, ladies, please take care, take kindness, take thought in what you say and how you respond. And let's celebrate and use the power of our femininity to shift rooms, atmospheres, moods, and let's use that power in a positive way. I hope you've enjoyed today. You are on with Crystal Clear Convos. Please like, follow, subscribe to all things Crystal Clear Convos on social media. Until next time, be blessed.
Thanks for watching the Crystal Clear Convos TV program and podcast with your host, Crystal Smith, the television series and podcast dedicated to uplifting and building individuals and communities. Join us next week for education, entertainment, enlightenment, and another opportunity to walk with us on the journey to creating a happy and purpose-filled life through thought-provoking topics and inspirational guests. So until next time, God bless from your friends at the Crystal Clear Convos TV program and podcast and host Crystal Smith. Tune into the Crystal Clear Convo television show with host Crystal Smith on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show dedicated to uplifting individuals and building communities. Join us every week for education, entertainment, and enlightenment. This is your opportunity to create a happier and more purpose-filled life.